The United States in Vietnam, 1946 to 1966. A book by Robert Shaplen, revised edition of The Lost Revolution, a Harper Colophon book, CN 92L. It was $1.95 back in the day. Dedicated to his wife, June Herman Shaplen, with love and gratitude. This is one of the lost books of the Vietnam War, and I hope by this audio reading to get a little more exposure for Mr. Robert Shaplen. The book is based primarily, he writes in his acknowledgements, on my own experience and research in the former Indochina area over a 20-year period. Largely, it is the result of what I saw and heard. Much of it comes from Vietnamese sources. There were, of course, many Americans who provided me with original material and who themselves were valuable sources. My Vietnamese friends and acquaintances are too numerous to mention. Most of their names appear in the book, and many of them have played principal roles in Vietnam. Among the Americans who were particularly helpful and to whom I wish to express my thanks were former Ambassador Edmund Guillon, now Dean of the Fletcher School of Diplomacy, the late Robert Bloom of the Council on Foreign Relations, Major General Edward Lansdale, retired, former Ambassador Kenneth Young, and Roger Hilsman of Columbia University and former Assistant Secretary of State for the Far East. There were many others who extended help of various sorts, including some of those whose names I am not at liberty to mention. In writing some of the historical background, a number of books were useful. They include The Struggle for Indochina by Ellen Hammer, The Two Vietnams by Bernard Fall, No Peace for Asia by Harold Isaacs, and Vietnam, A Diplomatic Tragedy by Victor Bator. Documents furnished me by Vietnamese and American officials were also helpful. A great deal of valuable editorial counsel was furnished me by William Knapp and the late Robert Grundy of the staff of The New Yorker, and by Miss A.C. Glasser. I wish to thank the editors of Newsweek, for whom I worked when I first arrived on the Asian mainland in the fall of 1945, after having been a war correspondent for that magazine in the Pacific. The editors of The Reporter, for permission to include 2 articles written in the 1950s, and particularly William Shawn, the editor of The New Yorker, for the numerous opportunities he has given me to report from the Far East. Finally, I wish to express my deepest thanks to my wife, June Herman Shaplen, for her editorial guidance and for the sheer mechanical labor she devoted to the completion of the book. Robert Shaplen.